get to see a couple of familiar heroes so far from the round robin.
You don't reckon they were watching that Neon game, do you? It's most likely that the Snapfire Clockwork are the support duo, but could you get the toss happening?
Oh boy,
Could it happen?
Mm, I guess you could kind of
Probably
do it
not.
with the snap though. Like it's meteor, like it's not because you cookie mag forward and then you send him back with the skewer. Like it's not like that
Sure.
toss play. Okay, I'm trying to.
The toss is a guarantee, basically.
Yeah.
Cookie is not.
I don't think you get the tiny here. Let's see though. Actually, why not? Motivate, pull it up. Let's see a Jackie Magnus get a tiny 5 here for Lionax. All for it.
Dire team pick.
See, that's what I've liked about today. We've seen a lot of new stuff come out,
We have.
you know, and well, honestly, even not some new stuff, but just some solid stuff that just works. Like Shadow Demon, it just works. Razor, honestly, it just works. But for somehow, Motivate were able to bring it back. We've seen Ricky come out, which is very new. We've seen a Bat Rider, which I still thought was a good pick. I was just really surprised at how well Fearless did against it in the lane. Of course, that position 5 tiny into the Magnus skewers. We saw a Meepo that game went down to the wire as well. So lots of new stuff coming through here, which is great to see. Going back towards a bit more standard so far this game, though. Like what's one hero that's not being picked that you do want to see a bit more?
Get my hero sheet real quick. Have you got one that comes to mind? Give me a second.
I mean, I've got a bias. There's a lot of team fights going on.
Yeah, but like,
where's the Wyvern?
Yeah.
Where's the Wyvern? Winter's Curse is fantastic.
Yeah, that is a bit interesting that the Wyvern, no one's having like any priority on that hero at all. Pango, that's one. Where the hell is Pango? What does hero do?
Good question.
My dude's just, he ain't here. He ain't here. He's gone.
He's incredibly solid, and you know we've seen plenty of times. Doesn't matter where you play it; it's just damn good throughout. I think just play him as a 4. You know, you want these team fight disruptors. People are obsessed with going for these things like the Nyx, like the Lion. Boom have taken both of them this game. That are like, oh, we can get the 3-man impales. Well, Rolling Thunder, you can get 3-man rolls like 3 times in a team fight. So I don't know. I feel like it's so versatile with all it's able to provide, and it's not being picked anywhere near enough. Ursa being picked up by Motivate. It's all right against the Tide. It's good. I'm just a little bit worried about how you're going to gap close, in particular around the Luna. Maybe the thought is that, you know, you're never going to just run into this Luna on the Ursa. It's always going to be a Magnus setting it up. It's always going to be a Clockwork hook shot setting it up.
Dire team ban. Radiant
There's not a whole lot it feels like to enable the Ursa though stuns wise. Like I'm a bit worried he gets kited. I think you're going to have to hit some pretty solid RPs, and I guess Ursa is more than likely going to have a diffusal blade though this game because the empower buff up, so that's going to enable him a little bit to not get kited. But what do we?
5 seconds remaining.
What do we feel like it's going to be mag wise? Do we think it's a 3? Do we think it's a 2? Is it going to be? Are you really feeling one role or the other right now?
I feel like it's more likely to be a position 2 in the mid lane, just because they went ahead and banned out the Bat Rider. Like, I feel like it was an anomaly, the fact that Felix was able to get that much out of the lane. Magnus doesn't have anywhere near the same level of recovery. We've seen again, like they're keeping it open. They don't have the last pick in the overall draft. Fearless, Masteros, their hero pools really mesh quite heavily. So Boom don't know how to go about this. You know, what are we going to be able to pick that's going to be able to cover, you know, both of these outcomes? For me, remaining. Alina maybe, but very vulnerable to the Clockwork, so that actually kind of sucks.
Imba Spirit.
You may now select your heroes.
You're able to get out of the cogs. You're able to maybe go a bit more of a minus armor build, you know, early Blightstone, max out the what is it? So it's a mid Kunker. Do you go maximum Flame Guard, or do you just try and dish out a good amount of physical damage? Either one's okay, I think. There's no real. It just comes down to personal preference.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hero that I was looking for in last game as well for Makoto. Yeah, for Makoto. And we saw the bat. I think we were both. What's going on here? You know, it's a pretty good bat game, but Fearless played an even better DK. We're gonna see the roles reversed. It's MG.Trust and the Magnus, which we saw earlier. Fearless playing the Conquer. How are we feeling about this game 2 draft? That's the one to end the night. Is it going to be a banger? Which team's going to take it?
I mean, you got to go with Motivate. They're undefeated so far. I can't see a massive draft win coming from Boom, other than the fact that they've got like 2 multi-hero stunners, well, 3 actually, when FBZ is taken into account. So if they can get some really nice team fights happening, then, you know, of course, Boom has a solid chance. But in Motivate, they've given us no reason to doubt them so far. Kescute just looking like a solar crest as with his cosmetics on. But, oh, look at Fearless. He's got the drip on this Conquer.
My dude got a little bit of smoke on him. Got a little bit of alcohol. The booze. What would they call that back in the day?
Rum.
So small.
Right?
Yeah.
Or like some sort of bilge wash. I don't know. It's too late. Something to do with booty.
Booty rum. Is that it?
Shout out to Booty Bay in World of Warcraft.
Booty rum.
What's a what? I got a joke for you. What's a pirate's
Oh my god.
favorite letter?
Is it your dad jokes?
What's the pirate's favorite letter?
P.
Why?
Just felt like on P.
Come on, think about it.
Danog, come on, man. It's 12:50. My mind's on the game.
Arr.
Oh, you're so cringe. Oh, you're
Got
so
him.
cringe.
I mean,
I'm
come on.
telling-
There's at least
30 seconds.
it was. You had a 1 in 26 chance.
I went with P. Should have gone with AR. That would have worked out better.
Just R on its own, right?
No, AR. What do you mean?
Hardly notice.
Sure.
What?
Let's
What's
go
going
with
on?
that. All random.
Oh yeah, exactly. You know, we've over the years, over the decades, I'm sure you've been able to. Yeah, see what I did there? Fuck.
The battle.
Sorry guys, it's late. I shouldn't have.
Over my decades and decades and centuries of existence on this earth.
Just been. You really been getting that experience there. I'm telling you, when you become a dad, your dad jokes. You got the repertoire.
I mean, I might be, but I don't know about it, being a dad.
All right, well, we'll be 2 bounty
All right,
runes
I'll-
apiece.
It will. I got another joke for you. You were pretty pathetic with that first one, but
I was pathetic, or
Yes,
the joke
you
was
should have
pathetic?
no. Everyone's gonna laugh in chat, and you're gonna look back at the VOD, and you'll be like, man, Danog is so smart. But how much do pirates charge for ear piercings?
What's with the pirate joke? Have you actually done like
Because it's a
your
conquer in the game. Come on, you gotta be topical. Come on, answer the question.
how much do pirates charge for ear piercings?
Yes,
I'm asking you.
about $1 an ear. See, that got a laugh out of you.
Like, what are we rating that one out of the other one? I feel like that one's just a little bit better.
About a 10 out of 10.
MG.Trust isn't feeling 10 out of 10 right now. Oh, my lord. So they swapped up the lanes. Out of all the shenanigans that's been going on, we actually have an aggro tri lane. So this is going to be something new that we're seeing. We're seeing a couple new heroes and now an aggro tri from Boom.
As well, they made sure they were the ones to be up there first. Really valuable information, not giving that too much away. Well, it's a try actually that ends up going on, but I wonder who's going to be happier with this, because the big reason behind picking this Ursa is specifically against the Tidehunter in lane. So, we'll see how things come out in the wash. But at the moment, Luna slightly in the lead with, you know, again, stuns in lane, always going to be good. Ranged versus melee, always going to be good. At least super early on before you get a lot more of that mobility.
Both use the stuns at the same time, but just harassment. Another thing is as well is that Luna like really thrives in tri-lane because of the Luna blessing. That is a big factor and something that we haven't seen so far with the few Lunas that we've gotten, but this seems like a perfect game. You just highlighted the Ursa really wants to be laning versus the Tide Hunter. That's a big reason why they picked it up. You've got this opportunity where you've got a double stun support, you know, a Lion that can set up for the next assassin, and you've got a Luna who's really thrives in tri-lanes. Now, you do have to be kind of cautious because if you get out of position from the clockwork with Boots and Battery Assault, their levels are pretty impactful here from Dire, so we'll see, you know, how the pulls really come into play, I should say.
I mean, the levels are pretty impactful from Dire, but in a tri-lane, pretty hard to get levels. You know, you're sharing experience between 3, and, well, Dreamer Cell, like, the Lunar Blessing is nice. At level 1, it doesn't feel massively impactful. You get 1 stun, that's the double. It's still not going to be enough to take him down there, and they're actually going to try and make a play here with
nice
Jackie.
cogs. That is quite the cogs from Q. Being a bit of a nuisance with the Hex, but a move on forward thanks to the Earth Spike and Jackie. Oh, he's happy with leaving the creeps near the tower if he's able to come up and pick that first blood. A great start for Jackie's Ursa in this second game. As how, you know, we'll swing down bot with FBZ on the Tide and Masteros on the Mag. We feel like this is just going to be a pretty farm fest down here for either hero.
Pretty boring. Mid lane, isn't though? Stun coming off from Fearless. Nicely done. Able to time it. Predicting when that Sleight of Fist could come. Nicely done there. More action happening top. I feel like they've got a lot more kill threat once Dreamer Cell hits level 3. I want to see if they try and make any kind of rotations on Motivate away from this tri-lane when that happens.
Are a little bit low on mana right now for Lion Axe. That cookie is pretty impactful to just get Q in a better position, maybe even Jackie's Ursa as well to close the distance. So he does have a Clarity and Stick coming out. Stick's very important in tri-lanes here. You see Radiant, they've already got 3. It's just Dire that's lacking there at the moment.
Not on my watch.
Yeah, right now, like, it feels like that kill was super important from Jackie, right? Like, he was able to manipulate the creep wave. He had actually only a small creep wave himself, so none of the Radiant creeps were going to go down. He wasn't losing too much farm. Again, they've been able to manipulate this. Probably getting a few too many pulls off for what Boom should be allowing to happen. They even got that hard camp pull that enabled all of that early aggression to happen.
Nice little team play. Conquer. Didn't need the water room. Just give it over to Mastros, who's got that bottle, so he's actually going to be playing a lot around the kind of right side of the map with the bounties and the water runes constantly getting picked up here for the mag. So recognizing that the Conquer's a hero that doesn't really need it. Top lane, Hyde. It's in a bit of trouble. Cog's going to push him further away now, but the stun only gets a clip on 1. And they just try and take up the Battery Assault. They will be able to do so with the Lion. It is
able to get away, actually.
You see these level 3 timings, though, from Dire. Really, really impactful right now.
Mm-hmm. Not even getting the multi-man Ravagers off. And actually Q, they're making the rotation on FBZ.
Yeah, great use from Masteros. But yikes on that pause there. But the solo RP skewer back under the tower. Just needed the cogs to further lock him in place. And great use of the RP solo from Masteros. He's I can't even take it seriously. This voice lines are so funny. I don't know why, like, just spamming, brothers. We didn't, I forgot. How did we not get the Tiny Airlines with the Galaxy Racer playing Tiny? Like, what's going on? There's been prime opportunity. I know it's a different team, but still voice lines. Oh, come on, guys.
More voice lines, more memes.
We're all about the memes. You are the meme lord, so.
I'm glad that's my claim to fame.
Man,
that and pirate jokes.
Who's got the Tiny Airlines voice? The voice line?
Galaxy.
You sure?
Alright, let me break it out while we've got this pause. Right.
Galaxy have woohoo! Yeet.
Yeah, they got woohoo and yeet, and then they've got... Let me listen to it.
Welcome aboard, Tiny Airlines.
Oh, okay.
Welcome aboard, Tiny Airlines. Okay. Do not fasten your seatbelt.
I didn't even read it out properly. I'm like, hey, what's going on? We're back underway. Short pause. Dire. Great start to this trial end at the moment, though. 1,000 net worth lead, 3 kills for themselves, and you know, with honestly expecting it that I thought this trial end was going to go a little bit better for Radiant, but it's just Dire have done a very good job at being able to kind of dissolve it and understand the weaknesses of Boom's try at the moment.
And actually, he's even going to be able to be very clever not to immediately start attacking that observer ward, always running the risk that it's going to get denied away. It will reveal perhaps the position of this high ground ward, but I think, again, the value of experience super early on is going to be great. Now having 2 points of the Scatter Blast, it's always going to be pretty scary to be able to fight into that. I mean, this tri-lane hasn't worked out anywhere near as well as Boom was wanting.
And now the fact that your tri-lane hasn't worked out as well, it means that MG.Trust has got solo experience, so he's actually going to have Empower maxed out here in the next second or so once a creep dies. And that's going to be really important for someone like the Conquer who can flash farm, someone like the Ursa, and sometimes like the Mag can... You might have to go an extra level in like a Shockwave or something just for the lane, but... And now the fact that you've got that maxed out already, his farm, you might be able to hit a first item timing just a little bit earlier, and same with the other cores too.
Rune of regeneration.
And making it go on high, that's not really going to work out. In fact, it actually is going to backfire. With Makoto coming over on the Ember Spirit, they'll get their first kill on the board.
They're continuing to go forward with this. I thought they might have just cut their losses. Fearless, they're playing around this high ground. They ping out the ward. They're like, nope. We do not want to be going into that. Kezcute might fall for it with the torrent being used. Oh, so close.
Space. So, with FBZ having this solo lane, looks like he's going to be going for the phase into the 4-star. So very much relying on trying to kite out of the cogs, Mortimer Kisses combo, and away from the Ursa, it looks like. Do you like this more of a, kind of want to say, unconventional first item from the Tide?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I do. Just because Ursa's, you know, we mentioned how impactful having that Mag is going to be just for buffing up the Ursa's farm. Like, Mag's already level 8. Ursa just hit level 6. So I'm sure that, you know, perhaps once there's a little bit more pressure put up onto this top side, Jackie's just going to look to go back to the jungle and farm. He's going to have that Diffusal Blade. So, you know, you've already got a bunch of slows and a bunch of maneuverability items. Once that Diffusal gets picked up, you need a way to get out of dodge because, I mean, Ember Spirit needs mana. Tidehunter needs mana. Like, everyone needs mana, but these guys don't have much to play with.
I like a man with a little swagger in his step.
Marcel, he's gonna be able to at least farm up this wave, or this stack rather.
Very slow, jeez.
He is. I mean, he's gotten barely anything out of this lane.
I'll hide. Scurry away, my little buggy.
He'll be good.
Do you know the vision that couriers give? I don't know it off by heart, so...
And that looks pretty pathetic, to be honest. Look at that Ursa one. Barely anything.
Yeah, it seems like you got to be directly over top of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Top pied. Goodbye, my buggy friend. Feel it's gonna... Why do you feel like we're seeing so much Conquer now? Because I remember through lower division, we were speaking about this, that the main guy was playing it a couple times and honestly just popping off. But we were like, you know, if we're going to see the Conquer, it's really in CIS, and CIS weren't playing it as much, but all of a sudden, just, you know, through the round robin, we've seen a lot more Conquer than I was expecting.
Most of it has been from Motivate, though, right? Like, so it's just a little bit of a specialty coming through from them. Feeling very solid all throughout. I believe they left the Broodmother in the pool as well, just because they know that they've got this, that they can instantly use to respond to it.
Oh, that's quite the neutral item for Dreamer Cell. Possess Mask, he's got 3 points in the glaives, so... But when you're behind like that, Daddy Gaben's always going to help you out.
Mm-hmm. Kind of surprising that he went the 2 points into the Lucent Beam for the laning stage, instead of the extra into the Lunar Blessing, right? Because you think about it, 1 point, it's 5 extra damage for everyone, that's 15 bonus damage total. 2 points, that's 45 bonus damage across the 3 heroes. That is quite a large amount.
Yeah, and also it allows him to kind of dissolve the laning stage and fall back to the jungle a little bit earlier, where he can flash farm, so...
Yep. Not wanting to use the Lucent Beam all that much in the jungle. We see people completely skip it, maybe having 1 point in it, just for the little bit of a stun, just to be able to catch up. Interrupt TPs if need be.
Jackie's down at the moment. They're looking to try and drop an RP solo. Skewer back first. FBZ wants to pop the Ravage so the TPs can come through. He's actually going to keep the life. Another look to turn. Chains.
Ooh.
Hold them
Kisses.
back. Kisses. FBZ. Oh, Duke.
Oh,
He doesn't
snipe.
juke through. It is going to cost the Snapfire his life, but here comes big boy Fearless. Hide if you get the Spike Carapace off, he won't. It's a little bit too late. They still get the combination.
Dire's structures are
So that is a 2-for-1.
Dire's middle tower
Gotta
is under
really
attack.
wants these creeps before he remnants back. Oh, Q?
All about creating as much space as he can for Dream Cell, right? Ooh.
Is the Rocket Flare enough? I think it is. Level 1.
And with that, Burn of Shadows gets its first couple of charges as well.
2,000 net worth lead for Motivate. Great start to this second game here for them. You will see that Dream Assault was still farming up solo. He shoved out mid, farmed the triangle. So he's still having a great time here on the Luna, but
Radiant structures are fortified.
are we worried that the other cores haven't had as strong of a start and they might fall behind in farm?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I feel like you're always worried about falling behind a little bit, but
Radiant's bottom
they've got the
tower is
team
under
fight to be able to
attack.
turn this one around. That's the thing.
Is there a team fight like capability that you think is easier to execute?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Depends what stage of the game, but of course, like multi-man stun's always going to be
Dire's
good,
top
and
tower has
Boom have
fallen.
got that right
Radiant's
now.
bottom
They didn't
tower
land
has fallen.
any of them, I think, in the laning stage, despite being against a tri-lane. So a lot of that has to do with some of the good, just lane positioning coming through from Motivate. Now though that they've been able to get out of the laning stage, it's a 2k net worth disadvantage that they're at. They're trying to make something happen around this mid lane. Vendetta popped, trying to catch out Q. Who, oh man, he's going to be pretty freaking tanky. He's nearly got a hood built up for himself already.
Yeah, I was actually questioning if he was ever going to commit into the pipe or like what the Mag was building, but Mag's already got hood at the moment for Masteros, so we'll see what the choice is going to be. But like Radiant's damage is
Under attack.
through the roof on Magical. Like it is actually crazy amount. So love the build from them at the moment. We do see the importance of the level 6s. It looks like Lion just hit his. We just saw the Nyx Assassin kind of scouting out in the Vendetta as well. So this could be the way for Boom to kind of come back and at least get a couple kills on the board for themselves. I say that when you run up into a choke point with the clockwork, it's really going to look to punish. They'll even drop the kisses as well for that one.
Drop the kisses. I mean, it's important. You just constantly need to be taking away a lot of the information that you have by playing against a Nyx Assassin. Got to be going for these kills. Instantly commits the hook shot. And that on a Shadows, it's staying healthy. You're very happy to just use it every single time because it's going to not change anything.
You see, Luna is still doing a very good job to actually stay ahead in the farm. So whether that's the stacks that they've been providing, I've also seen Luna make a lot of her own stacks at the Ancients, just with her farming patterns, which has been on point.
Spotted
But
her out though. This Observer Ward sees her. And you can see it's just a beeline from Motivate to try and catch her out. Revealing in lane, she probably thinks she has a little bit more time than she does, but still got to be able to get away.
this is also Orchid completed for Fearless's Conquer. So yeah, they really want to try and use this early. It might be a bit before what they are expecting on Makoto, because he is working on the Yules. Hook shot Q. Once again, the roaming ward's going to get scouted out here. Who's going to get the kill? That's really what it comes down to. It'll be Q.
It's going into a Lotus Orb as well. I actually really like that from all of the stuns that you're going to have that are being pumping out
Top
from
lane.
the line, of course.
They're looking to try and punish Fearless.
Okay.
He ain't going to be okay at all. But drop the Eclipse. It's pretty beefy with the run buff, but they're going to be able to get a nice pick off onto Fearless. 405 down. They might have scouted out that smoke still because Dire's Observer Ward is just about to expire. See who's going to get caught. Looks like it'll be Lion Axe. Makoto's just going to remnant up on the high ground. Still got the cookie for maybe a little bit better positioning. Gets back closer to the safety of the tower and Masteros and Jackie.
Radiant's
Oh, I'm
middle
liking this as well
tower
from
is under
Mastros.
attack.
Going from the for the cheeky individual plays, he's got the hood, and then he's going to be able to combine that together into the pipe, just so that they get that double protection. He's really going to be playing in on the front lines, not too worried about dying or tanking up too much magic damage himself.
Ravage. And Rage on the backline from Jackie. Earthspike, all the control. Jackie needs help, but he's way too deep to get her. Mastros is going to whiff on the skewer as well. Ornament kisses. Negated a lot of the damage here, but Fearless back alive, looking to make an impact in the team fight mid. If he can turn it back in their favor with a cookie stun on 2, but Dream Assault is ripping apart with the glaives when they're all grouped up like that. You can see them bouncing back and forth, and now Fearless, he might actually have to try and drop the ultimate just for the extra survivability. He's got a lot of movement speed as well when the phase is active, but it's not going to matter. Actually, Cookie's on back in the river, unfortunately, so Fearless will fall, and it's even with Lion Axe showing up, means Mikoto might be able to get another kill to his name. Can he get there fast enough? Oh, Chains just a bit late.
Dire structures are fortified.
Yeah, I don't think you're in a position just yet where you could just be purely underneath a tower when you know they've got Ravage off cooldown. And now, I mean, that previous fight where they used the Eclipse to be able to catch up onto Fearless, that was just with 2 points in the Eclipse, so he should be taking a lot more damage
Dire's
than
middle tower
has been
has
so far.
fallen.
Now, they've got it maxed out. Eclipse going to be back up again in another 25 seconds, so even though you use the Ravage, you could still probably make something happen if someone looks to try and make a bit of a deeper move in, and let's not forget, you use the RP for that, so they're just probably going to be looking to be a bit more passive, at least for a little bit of time on Motivate. It's clear they want to take out this mid-tier 1 tower. They want to take control again over this tri-camp. They're playing as an Ursa. Well, that's probably what they're hoping Boom expects them to be thinking as they're just going into Roche instead.
They did scan it out though, but it looks like they're a bit too late at the moment. Throsh
That's in position.
end up dropping.
Is not though.
Oh, FPZ. He wanted to face check it even hard as well. So 2 heroes gonna get caught. Quick Orchid. Prevents a Nyx Assassin Impale Stun, but Dream is on the high ground with the Eclipse. Mastros protect himself with the pipe, but it's not going to matter. The burst is there. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Chains on 2. Fearless needs to try and protect him with the boat. Straight on top of the clock. Like, great
nice.
torrent as well with the stun. Just finds Mikoto. Push back with the cogs as well. Protected with the slide. Again, they're unable to lock them down perfectly to use the synergy of the abilities from Motivate. And they actually see Jackie under the ward. Bit too late though from Mikoto. Nice attempt. You see the pressure that's really starting to ramp up from Boom though.
For sure. And they don't lose the Aegis. That's a small little bonus. Jackie's still feeling a little bit scared to go onto the front lines. Again, he doesn't have a way to start these team fights. I thought maybe that might have been Mastros making a bit of a mistake there. He was in position to get the skewer back on the Tidehunter into the rest of the team, most notably the Ursa, who just picked up the Aegis, and I thought maybe they could have gone for a man fight without that Ravage being on cooldown just yet, but didn't opt to. He got picked off towards the start, and Motivate's lineup crumbled.
Fearless? That's a tricky kill. Maybe with Finger of Death, though, they've got the burst. One more slight, not even needed. Meanwhile, top lane, Ravage dropped as well. Dream Assault, the glaives bouncing back and forth. Mastros going to be able to have the RP, but instantly the Kraken Shell purges off the stun. And look at the damage stacking up from Dream Assault. The rest of Radiant, they're able to link from mid to top to find the support. And now they should be able to get Lion Axe as well. The Earth Spike from downtown. And bye-bye Snapfire. This is a different Boom in this second game.
Yeah, for sure. Jackie, he's just running up into this. I don't know if you could do this, Ursa. You got a couple of lives, but maybe just really not wanting to give up that tier 2 tower. I suppose the rest of the team have backed off, so it's going to pay off at the end, but ballsy play. And finally, that Observer Ward that's caused them so much grief ends up expiring. They didn't even get the full D ward on it.
I am really surprised that Dire are actually not keeping up in the farm like I was expecting with this Empower. I don't know the real, like there has been a lot of fights which is causing Dire not to be farming, but the fact that they're 4,000 down is I thought that it'd be a little bit more even just because of the mag.
I mean, it kind of feels like it's all Dream Assault, though. You know, the net worth lead's about 4,000. He's got about 3,000 lead, and considering the more recent fights, which give more gold, have gone in Motivate's favor, it's kind of justified.
And the fact that also, like, Dream he's been getting involved, which I've been very impressed with as well. Like, 5-0 and 6. 11 out of 13 kill participation on a Luna who's also been flash farming through the roof. Tier 2 tower already claimed. And that will now free open the outpost if they want to start to control that. Fearless almost dies too. Oh my lord.
Damn close. Alright. This is Motivate's timing. They've picked up a BKB. They're not quite yet there. Excuse me, on Fearless. Not quite yet there on Masaros either. Halfway towards that Blink Dagger. But most importantly, Dreamer Cell doesn't have his BKB. So they're able to get the chain lockdown needed if they can find the backlines.
The issue is it feels really awkward for them to start. Like it's delayed. It's either the mag skewer in, that's delayed. The X into something, that's a bit delayed. So Radiant are...
hook shot.
Yeah, that is the one thing. The one thing you got right now on how you can start instantly and then see if you got to follow up afterwards. Till they get that blink. Jackie mid. He's got the Aegis still for about a minute here, but they'll rain down the Eclipse. First life taken away. Q also got a hook shot in the rear, but protected with the Force Staff. Now they're going to look to turn. It's high ground. Be real careful how long this continues on forward, though.
Cheeky. Getting the hook shot, the rocket flare to interrupt the regen rune onto Hyde. Now though,
Hyde, Ravage, everything dropped. Ursa, BKB, but he can't get it off. There's nothing that comes through. Fearless is not even going to use his ultimate defensively to try and keep Ursa alive. In fact, he'll use it for his greedy self. Try and get back to the Tier 2 tower, but he's going to end up falling, and they should be able to kill off the Clockwork as well. Boom, completely running over Motivate in this second game.
Yeah, I mean, you can spend all your time farming one of these key items that you need for team fights, but if you're just not going to use it, it's going to be pretty ineffective. You know, you could have probably afforded to use that once a little bit more aggressively. Means that you're not going to lose quite as many heroes. I can understand, excuse me, not full in committing for it, because Masaros, he was wanting to farm his Blink Dagger. They're realizing that they don't have that form of initiation like you've been talking about. And well, now he's only 50 gold away. Still, feels like it's costed them more than it should have.
Well, we can still see Dai come back with these crafty fights, but it's got to be in a choke point. Like, you got to have a way to get a combo down with all the cleave, with the RP, Motivate kisses, drop that boat. They've got ways to do it. And Motivate have always been a team that is able to come back in crafty ways. They understand their strong suits in drafts and how they can really execute when they're behind. So down 9,000 gold seems to be nothing to these boys often, but we'll see. The question is like it really is all on this initiation, and at the moment they're just not getting it though.
No, that's the thing, and it's resulted in a 9k net worth lead. They've got the RP, and importantly as well, they've also got a haste rune. You know, it always seems like the positioning has been pretty decent on Boom to be popping any kind of engagements. Hyde being dead is definitely going to help that.
Kodo. Dire are actually connecting top.
Can they catch out this Luna?
Nice
That's
timing.
the key thing. They're even backing off here. I'm a little surprised.
They got haste actually, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he could have continued to go. It's going to allow Dreamer Cell to get out. You don't want to go for these missed RPs again, though, on Masaros. We're a little traumatized by that RP refresher RP on an illusion.
Yeah, and then the next RP afterwards, like a couple minutes later, he just whiffed it. It's a different game. Different game. A little bit, it's behind Masaros. It's behind him. He ain't fearing about it. Next minute, he misses the RP.
Yeah. I mean, that's a haste rune not used after you had a 5v4. That's a smoke wasted because you weren't able to find anyone, and now you've got a smoke coming into you. And, well, you're actually in a pretty vulnerable position here on Fearless. The rest of the team's backing him up. Tide might be a bit slow.
Got pipe, RP, Masaros finds Zeus, shield straight up on the high ground with Jackie. There's the clear coming into play. Force Staff defensively on both the heroes here that got caught by the RP, but Phyllis then with the BKB looking to try and move on forward. You got to be careful because a lot was actually wasted there from Motivate to just get the kill on the Nyx Assassin. That was not enough. And it forces him to leave Fearless alone. He's going to get brought down. Boom, surround him.
Not enough at all, and I think that's a BKB as well. Yeah, very nice on Makoto coming out to him now, so he's going to be able to go in super deep. Means the only way you're going to get locked down is with the use of that RP, so can even try for some cheeky plays.
He's getting stalked right now on the Ursa. Turns with your rage. BKB still on cooldown. He's not taking up a whole lot of damage at the moment, but they've used the Ravage, and Jackie trying to man fight, but nope. He ain't gonna win that one. Dreamer Cell is too far right now, and the Ursa cannot do it on himself.
No good. Oh.
I was thinking, you know, maybe that's the reason why after that that kill onto the Nyx Assassin, everyone just broke and ran away, because that Tide Hunter right in the middle of the team fight didn't have the damage to take him down, and those BKBs were ticking down. There's only about 3 seconds left on them, so they needed to make sure they were avoiding the Ravage, avoiding an outcome like that for your Ursa Warrior. At least they got, excuse me, at least they got the Ember Spirit that time around. He didn't have the BKB delivered to him just yet, or he didn't want to pop it, didn't quite see, but it was actually the Mortimer's Kisses that ended up cleaning him up.
Both teams keeping tabs on this Roshan. Up in 10 seconds. It's going to be a very, very important Rosh to tell the story of how this game is going to end up faring. Dire potential choke point fight for them, where they could thrive, but also could send them crashing down in their second game.
We say crashing down as if they've had a horrible tournament so far, though, but, you know, currently lossless right now on Motivate. That Roche is so important for the context of everything. Shard available. Just want to use the Yules or the BKB too early, but if you get chain lockdown...
They get the combination. Makoto is out of there. Look at that damage they did. All on Jackie. Brought him to about half. And Rady got a really good ward in the area. They're just going to poke and prod. There's also a DD top that Dreamer Cell sees before the fight breaks out. And Roche is also up. They're kiting him away from them back to their high ground. Rady like, DD in front of Roche. Usually that happens when Roche is back alive, and it is indeed.
They know though. Rocket flares up. Tide standing on the front lines. He realizes how hard it's going to be to kill him.
He's got force. I don't know if you can kill the Tide at the start. Goes back up, down the low ground. Now Fearless is away from the team. Hasn't popped the BKB just yet, but the finger attack, they bring him down. Motivate just aren't clicking their buttons fast enough. He'll buy back. He knows the context of this Roche. So important. You see the emphasis that's coming through from them. What was really forced out though before? What BKB from Dreamer Cell was used. No other real big things yet. Actually, Finger of Death used as well.
That's what's bringing him down before he can use all of these BKB charges. So that's going to be pretty important for him. And importantly, they're finally giving over their power to some of these other cores. You know, I've seen it on Jackie a few times. Haven't seen it on Fearless just yet. I feel like that could be really important. They smoke up. It's under a ward though.
Boom. Back with the high ground positioning, FBZ 4-star Ravage gets a clip only onto 3 with the BKB pop from Fearless. They're controlling up Jackie at the moment. Clockwork falling incredibly low, so gonna have too much impact in the fight. Makoto, they're doing a great job to kite the start from Motivate. Ravage on cooldown. Jackie's still got the BKB, but the Earth's back. Jackie once again is trying to get really.
This is good.
That's what they needed. Jackie will turn, kill off the Luna. BKB's about to expire. Great use of the skill, but you still lose the Ursa. A buyback coming into play. They've got the outpost control. Another buyback as well. Hookshot through Lion Axe, hiding out in the Roche pit. He claims the kill, but it'll still cost him his life. A lot forced out here from Motivate. They have to get the Roshan.
They're still playing a little scared. I'm not sure why. No Luna. No Ravage. You gotta commit for this. You use your buyback onto Jackie. It's for the purpose of this Roshan.
Does Snap even think about buying back? I mean, if they go in, he might. Mastros. There we go. Go buy back. This is a lot of buybacks used. If Motivate don't get this Roshan, FBZ on the front line. BKB still on cooldown for Jackie. He actually needs a lot of health. Jackie bought back previously. Cookie Stun. Where's the fob? Scatterblast. And it's all there. Makoto's got a buyback too. Mastros Shockwave drags back FBZ. Force up down for another 15 seconds. Torrent off the mark. Nice play.
Jackie's back in Roche.
Radiant structures are fortified.
All right.
It's nice now that Lion Axe has been able to salvage something out of these fights. You know, able to connect with that Scatterblast onto an Ember Spirit that probably thinks he was able to survive, but well, not from a 2-second stun. Surprising happening from that position 5 Snapfire. He's doing real well. Level 17. Only just a couple of levels behind a few of the cores on Motivate's side.
I love that Scatter Blast Aghanim shot getting picked up as well. We've seen how difficult it is so far to get a really key lockdown and then chain lock it afterwards. But it was just something they weren't expecting for the Ember, and really turned the tail of that. You know, we saw what's able to happen. But let's take a look at the buybacks though. Like, they've got none. They actually used all their buybacks in that fight. Every single one committed. Cheese is on Conquer. The Aegis is on the Ursa. Yes, you win it, but the price is really hefty.
Yeah. So it makes any time that they're moving around the map like this with Jackie kind of on his own, they've got decent vision. They've got this high ground vision that's about to expire, so he feels somewhat safe to farm underneath it with that Aegis as well. All the other heroes feel like they just need to be holding hands the entire time. You can see Fearless just even Xboxing himself so that he can get back onto the safety of that Deep Observer Ward and the high ground.
Smoke up. They're leaving an Arcane at the moment. Lion Axe. Like, pop the smoke. It might cost him his life here. They're actually going to try and protect him in the moment. Q, hookshot away. Mikoto as well. He can hunt. He's got the Arcane to utilize in the arsenal. And that is a big catch. We saw what oh, wait. That pipe actually protecting Masaros.
Yeah,
Still
nicely
hunting.
done. Well,
If
fine.
he's going to get the help,
Might be forced
though.
to pop the RP here.
He really doesn't want to use it solely on FBZ. Now the skill back, but it sets up for an even better Ravage. Hex controlling up Jackie. Fearless gonna try and get the run buff in the backline. He gets both the supports with the ultimate from Fearless. Great use of the Conquer abilities. They're getting completely kited though. Jackie, he doesn't want to use the BKB on the first life just yet, so it means that Dreamer Cell can rip him apart with the glaives. They've got their own disarm. Jackie now back alive, finally pops the BKB, but once again the fourth stops coming into clutch. Hexed up, brought down, Conquer's down. Jackie's gonna get chased back. Remember, everyone bought back previously on Motivate, and they'll drop the Eclipse for Jackie's last life. He'll use the Enrage, but it's not going to matter. They can continue chasing without a care in the world. Up the tier 3 tower and down the Ursa's life.
Lanes are kind of pushed in. It's one of these scenarios where you're like, well, do they want to call the GG? Because that is a long time on the deck with a Luna. You know how effective a Luna is at taking all of these lanes. And that's a level 25 Luna, by the way. So as soon as that first creep starts to get close by, this base is going to completely melt. It's not even like Lionax can just lay down the Mortimer's Kisses either to be able to stop it. You've got an Nyx Assassin, so he's just going to use the Spike Carapace. We tried for a cheeky play there, using the cookie in onto the Tide Hunter, maybe scatter blasting him in. Yep, he's just going to walk into it. Oh, yeah, there we go.
That's it.
Stuns him up.
That's it.
Tails him.
What a game. FBZ and Co. They're going to be able to tie up the series here. A beautiful, beautiful second game performance from Boom.
Absolutely. And it just feels like Dreamer Cell on this Luna, it's a scary prospect. I don't think we've seen him lose on it just yet. And there always seems to be amount of farm. It fits perfectly with Boom's style of being able to pick up a bunch of different stacks and enable that super strong early game. Well, unfortunately, buttons were not pressed.
Yep.
On Motivate's side, BKBs in particular, you know, trying to wait until the perfect time. And that's the other thing as well. They had a bunch more neutral items. It was a 34-minute game. And for example, Fearless, he's still holding onto a broom handle. Your Clockwork is still holding onto a Grove Bow. Like, Grove Bow's got to do nothing for a Clockwork. You do not have magic damage on your lineup. Broom handle, yeah, it does a little bit, but I'm pretty sure they had like an Imp Claw available. You know, Fearless would have loved that, for example, just to pump out that little bit of extra damage into these team fights. And that's what happens when you're on the back foot, when you've got this constant pressure coming out from Boom. It was a 50-kill game, 34 minutes, and they get their first loss. They are not unbeatable.
Yeah, they are not unbeatable indeed here. Motivate tying up the series versus Boom, so it looks like that top of the table is still going to be even. I mean, how many series do Boom have left? They've only got one more series versus Omega, so that's another very difficult one. So we'll see how that's going to be. That is on the last day, however, of the groups. That's also our second last series to end the round robin. But guys, that was another crazy day. We are now 5 days completed of the Lootbet Pro Series round robin. We 2 more days remaining of action here, and it's just getting even better.
Yeah, we got a lot of good games tomorrow. Little Gun Galaxy Racer to open us off. Neon Galaxy Racer, that's going to be real nice, as well as Neon Motivate.Trust as the middle 2 games of the day. And then, well, unfortunately for South Built, their final series that they're playing of the round robin is against Motivate. So, yeah, I'm not sure if that 0 and 12 is going to include any wins after that one, because Motivate, even though they dropped that game, they're looking pretty damn strong.
Yeah, they are indeed. And yep. Well, that's going to be it for us tonight here, guys, for the Lootbet Pro Series Season 6. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Day 5 is now done and dusted. We have 2 more days, tomorrow and Monday, where we will see 4 teams move to the upper bracket and 4 teams move to the lower bracket. No one is getting eliminated out of the round robin. So we got 8 teams continuing on forward. But with that being said, that's going to be it for us tonight. Tune in same time for some more Lootbet Pro Series Season 6.